Hello and welcome to the short Vort on Parshas Beshalach. This week's Torah is adapted from MiPeninei HaBen based on the Torah of Chacham Yosef Chaim of Bahgdad, who lived either 1832 or 1834 to 1909. The title is Sachar al Machshava Tova, the reward for a good thought, a good intention. In Perak Yud Gimel Pasuk Yud Tes, it says, Vayikach Moshe es atzmos Yosef imo. Moshe Rabbeinu, while everyone else was gathering wealth from Egypt, he went and he took the bones of Yosef HaTzadik. However, when it comes to burying the bones of Yosef, in Sefer Yoshua, Perach Daled Pasuk Lamed Beis, it says there, Ves atzmos Yosef asher helu Yisrael Mitzrayim Kivru b'Shechem. The bones that the Israelites brought up from Egypt and they buried in Chacham. Rav Chaim Palagi, 1788 to 1868, he asks, why does the Navi not mention that Moshe Rabbeinu was osek with the bones of Yosef? Why does it only mention the Israelites, Yisrael? Now, on one hand, you could answer that Moshe Rabbeinu, he didn't actually do the burial. He brought Yosef out of Egypt, but and he got credit there. And as far as burying, that was what was done by the Israelites. So it makes sense. So Rav Ben Ishchai answers that you can't say this, because we have a rule that if someone thinks to do a mitzvah, venenas, and something beyond his or her control happened, velo asasa, didn't do it, mala because of kilo asa, the Torah considers it as if that good deed was done. Called it machshava k'maisa. And we see that from David HaMelech, because David HaMelech did not build the Beis HaMikdash, yet we say Mizmar Shir Chanukas Habayis LeDavid, that it was built by the house, that was the temple that was built by David. The reality is that David HaMelech so wanted to build the Beis HaMikdash, but Hashem said, no, you're not going to build it. You've killed people, and your son, he's the one who's going to build it. So if the question comes now, if David HaMelech gets credit for what he wanted, Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to bury the bones of Yosef, why doesn't he get credit? So we can answer that there's a difference. That when it comes to taking the bones of Yosef into Eretz Yisrael and burying them, that wasn't an honest gomor. It wasn't a completely out of his control, because the reason Moshe Rabbeinu couldn't go in was because he did a sin. He struck the Selah. He was supposed to talk to the stone, and instead he struck it, and for that he was punished not to go into Eretz Yisrael, and then he wasn't able to take Yosef all the way. So therefore it's not a complete onus, and therefore he doesn't get credit. But then the question comes up with David HaMelech. David HaMelech, he was told that he couldn't do it because he killed people, so that wasn't an onus gomer either then. No, there's a difference. When it came to the Melchamos, the wars that David HaMelech did, that he was involved in, when he ended up killing people, those were Melchemas Hashem. They were commandments for Hashem, and he was supposed to do that. Therefore, those are considered almost gomor. And the Beis HaMikdash was therefore mentioned on his name, even though he didn't do the actual building. And the Bnei Yisrael who buried Yosef, so they're the ones who got credit for mentioning that they buried him. In conclusion, the Ben Ishchai says, really, you got to go back, we'll take away that question, because it doesn't start, because Moshe is written in the Torah what he did. He was osek in the atzmos of Yosef. He took them out of Egypt. So the Torah writes that. And that the Israelites, that they buried him, so it's mentioned in Yeshua. They both should get credit. And David HaMelech, regarding him, because he so wanted to do it, machshava tova k'maisa, and therefore he gets credit for what he did. So thank you for listening. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a wonderful week and a wonderful Shabbos.